what's up, you guys? Welcome back to As Told by Key. I am Key. If you guys are new here and you like what I do, one, I want you to comment down below on this video and let me know that you are new here. Two, I want you guys to comment, like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so that you are always updated when I upload new videos. If you're not new here, welcome back, family. I seen you guys in yesterday's video, which I want to ask you guys to please share if you care. So many people are in the world being abused in so many different ways, and because they're not being hit or because they're not, they're not children, because that's the most common abuse that we learn about: domestic violence and child abuse and animal cruelty, of course. But as far as humans are concerned, those are the two major types of abuses that we always talk about. And yesterday, Aaron and I talked about mental abuse and social isolation, and that is, and how that is abuse and how it can turn into something else. Everything always starts from something, and it ultimately always escalates to physical abuse. So we want people to know the warning signs of all these different types of abuses. Like I said, yesterday we covered 2. We're going to cover another 2 in later this week in another video. We're going to talk about other types of abuse. And I just want you guys to know that I want to use this platform not just for like all funny games and TV reviews and things like that. I want to bring awareness to something because like I said in my video, Aaron has been a part of social abuse. I was a part of mental and social abuse. Also, I've seen people in my close proximity be abused physically, mentally, emotionally. And it's something that's close to me, and it's something that I've seen and have had in my life quite a bit. And I don't want to say who the people were in my family, but they know who they are. And I have been around it quite a bit in my life. And I just wanted to bring some awareness to it so that you could try to get out of the situation before it gets physical. So if you're interested in that video and you want to share, I will leave a link in the description so that you can do so. Now let's get past all of that. Mondays will be double up Mondays, starting either this up and coming Monday or the Monday after, because 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After will be returning to TLC. Now, if you're not sure what 90 Day Fiance is, or you haven't been following me in my reviews for 90 Day Fiance, I will leave another link down in the description so that you guys can see my playlist where all of my 90 Day Fiance and my other TV reviews are all scrunched together and nicely categorized and packaged for you guys so that you can see what's going on. So go check that out if you're interested in the 90 Day Fiance series that I do have on my channel. That is literally one of the first shows that I started reviewing. So yay, it's back. Now, on top of that, I did say it's going to be double up Mondays. We will still be doing Killer Kid Mondays on top of the 90 Day Fiance review Mondays. So Mondays is going to be lit. That's all I'm going to say about it. So let's jump into this case. You guys, when I first started researching for this series, I thought that it was going to be hard for me. When I first started talking about it and I was telling Aaron about it, and I was like, oh, I just want to do, a series where, how many kid killers are in the world. He was like, oh, you're not going to find a whole bunch. And come to find out, I found a whole bunch. So I think this series on top of the 90 Day series is going to always be here. This is going to be something that I am going to continue to follow on top of Thursday's tea, because we always need a little bit of tea in our lives. Just saying. So let's jump into this case. So the case today that we are going to be talking about is the case of Mary Bell. Mary was born May 26, 1957, and she was born in Newcastle upon Tyne, Northumberland, England. Y'all, I need like a pat on the shoulder or something, because I've been in here struggling with that, and I'm happy that I got it out. Mary's nickname was May, but she was better known as the Tyneside Strangler. And she ultimately, for the 2 crimes that she committed that we're going to get into a little bit later, the 2 crimes that she committed, she was in prison for 12 years, and she was in prison for manslaughter. Now, I want to give you guys a little bit of history on her before we jump into exactly what it is that she did. So Mary was born to Betty McCricket. I'm making sure that I said her name right. She was born to Betty McCricket. Betty was 17 years old when she gave birth to Mary, and she was a prostitute. Most of Mary's life, she believed that Billy Bell was her dad, but the truth is we are unsure who her father is. They didn't really disclose how she figured out that Billy wasn't her dad, but like I said, for most of her life, she did believe that Billy was her father. Billy married her mother, But Billy ultimately ended up going to jail for armed robbery. And I think after he got out, he just kind of stayed away. Now, Betty was a prostitute and she was in and out of the household. So Mary didn't really have a structured lifestyle. Her father was a criminal, her mother was a prostitute. Now, a bunch of family members have spoken out and said that they believed that Betty was trying to kill Mary and make it look like it was an accident. Now, what made them even more suspicious was that Mary had fell out of a window and she also accidentally consumed sleeping pills. Now, a family member witness said that they seen Betty giving Mary the sleeping pills as sweets or candies. So she was trying her best to get rid of this child and she didn't want to go to jail for it. So she tried everything in her power to make it look accidental, like falling out of a window. You could have left the window open and like the screen fell out or whatever. However she tried to do it, she went out of her way to try to make sure that it looked like an accident. So Mary grew up in a really tumultuous household. Her father, the man that she believed to be her father, was a criminal. Her mother was a prostitute who was trying to kill her. And because her mother didn't succeed in killing her, her mother then, from the ages of 4, forced Mary to engage in sexual activities with herself and other men. So then she started to prostitute or pimp out, that's what we know it as. She started to pimp out her own daughter. And that is the life that Mary lived all the way up until her 11th birthday. I gotta open up my notes for y'all, baby, because it's about to get real, and I need you guys to be with me, okay? Now, Mary was released after she was in prison, but before we get into that, let's get into this. Now, on May 25th, 1968, a couple of days before her 11th birthday, Mary strangled a 4-year-old boy named Martin Brown. Now, she did this by herself. That's what they're saying, that she made the initial crime on her own when she went in and strangled this young man. Now, in between the second killing, she enlisted another young lady, the age of 13. Her name was Nora Joyce Bell. They are not related. I looked it up, and it says no relations. She enlisted Nora to break into a home in Scottswood, and she broke into a nursery, and she trashed the nursery. And on top of trash in the nursery, she left like a bunch of like heinous notes all around the nursery stating that she was the person that was responsible, or posing as the person responsible for the killing of Martin. Now, right after that, the two girls then, the same year, I believe it was in July, yes, July 31st, 1968, so the same year, the two girls then committed another crime and they killed a 3-year-old boy named Brian Howe. They strangled him as well. Now, police say that Mary and Nora, or Mary by herself, they're not sure if the two girls went back to the scene of the crime or not together, but Mary definitely went back to the scene of the crime and she carved an M into Brian's stomach. So after they investigated for a while, they didn't think that Martin's death was like had foul play in it, because Mary wasn't strong enough to leave marks. Now, if you strangle someone and you have the strength, there's usually a mark around your neck and of the rope or whatever it is that the person uses to strangle you. It leaves a really, really deep cut in your neck. But she wasn't strong enough for that. And because he was 4 years old, it didn't take a lot of pressure to strangle him. So they ruled his death an accident, like he suffocated in his sleep. But then once they started connecting all the clues and the dots to Brian's death, they then realized that Martin was killed the exact same way. Now, Mary started to escalate, going back and carving her name or her initials into the boy's stomach was an escalation, because most people who kill, you get away with it, and then you get a little bit of confidence and you get cocky and you start doing things that's outside of a regular pattern. These two girls were convicted and they were sentenced to prison for manslaughter. Mary got out when she was 18. I'm not sure when Nora got out. Let me see something really quickly. No, it doesn't tell us when Nora got out, but it does let us know that Nora died in 89. So there's that. Now, she was the youngest female to go to jail. She went for manslaughter, and when she turned 18, she was out. She was a free woman, and she lived out her days. She has a child. She has books. They say that she has sat down. I haven't seen any interviews with her, but I see on the page that she has done a couple of interviews, but I'm uninterested in her interviews. Like I don't I I don't think I care enough to know why she killed two young boys. I understand that her lifestyle was tumultuous and it was just a rough one, but the response to that, to kill and to kill innocent kids, I'm just not really all that interested in what it is that she has to say, because I can kind of assume that she's going to tell us that she was sexually abused and her mother was abusive and all of that stuff. You know, things that people say when they've done something wrong. But unfortunately, two families were not able to have their child grow up and see them grow up and get married and live their lives. While Mary, she was only charged with manslaughter because of her age. She got out at the age of 18. She had a child and she's got to live her life. So it's just sad to see. It is the complete opposite of the Gypsy Rose situation, where Gypsy just was worried about killing her mother because she wanted to be free of her mother. This young lady decided that she wanted to kill people in general, and I think that's disgusting. I've had a couple of conversations with people about the whole Mary Rose thing, and a lot of people feel like I feel like Gypsy needs help. I said Mary Rose. I feel like Gypsy needs help and not to be in prison. I feel like after everything that she had been through, she needed some type of help to get her through that. And she focused that anger on the person who had hurt her, which was her mother. Whereas though Mary, she has gotten the opportunity to live her entire life, although she took away two young boys' lives, and families are suffering for that while she got to live out her life. So that is all for today, you guys. Like I said, this one was not long at all. It was really cut and dry and straight to the point. She was abused. Her dad was a criminal, or at least a guy we believe to be a criminal, and there was nobody there to step up for her. So I feel sorry for her on that part of it. You know, I feel sorry that no one decided that, okay, we see her mother doing these things to her, we need to get her out of this situation, and try to save her. But the fact that she took two lives, and she was so self-aware that she was able to control this 13-year-old. So this girl was older than her, and she had this girl break into a nursery, vandalize it, leave cryptic notes, and then assist her in another death. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about her only getting manslaughter and being able to be out and to like live the rest of her life. I mean, yes, she was hurt, and yes, she was abused, but people are abused every day, and we're not all out here trying to kill 3-year-old and 4-year-old boys. So that is the case of her. She is released. I think she's 60 now. Let me double check for you guys. I believe that yeah, she's 60 years old. So she lived out her life, and the families had to watch it happen. And it's a sad case. It's a sad case for everybody. It's sad for her as a child, and you know what got her to the place of murdering two young boys. But it's also sad. I'm sadder for the families who lost those two kids. So I always want to tell you guys, I don't mean any disrespect to anybody in these videos. This is just my point of view after I read the stories and I see the cases and everything like that. So I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. I'm not trying to, like, you know, cause any ruckus. So this is just my opinion and my viewpoint on these cases and these stories. So like I said at the beginning of the videos, if you like these, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share if you care, and comment down below. And I will see you guys on Thursday with some Thursday tea. And I hope you guys like it, because I got a whole bunch of tea for y'all. So thank you guys for watching me so much. Love you guys. Go be great.